Hey mama, welcome back to Business, Babies and Burnout, the unfiltered podcast for mamas, building businesses without burning out. I'm Cece, a mama digital business mentor and burnout survivor. Today we're talking about something that sounds almost impossible when you're in the thick of motherhood: how to work less and still grow your business. Because if you're anything like most mamas I talk to, you are already stretched thin. You're not sitting around with hours of extra time wondering how to fill them. You are juggling kids' life emotions, responsibilities, and the constant mental load that never really shuts off. So when someone says you just need to work harder or longer or be more consistent, it can feel discouraging or even impossible. I want to start by saying this clearly. Working less does not mean caring less. It does not mean lowering standards. It does not mean giving up on growth. It means working in a way that actually fits your life and capacity. Most burnout does not come from lack of effort. It comes from effort being scattered. So let's talk about what actually allows growth to happen without increasing hours. The first thing that needs to be said is this: growth does not come from doing more things. It comes from doing the right things consistently. Most moms are already doing too much. They are creating content in too many places. They are trying to learn everything at once. They are responding to everything immediately. They are saying yes to opportunities that drain more than they give back. So when you try to grow your business by adding more tasks, you don't create momentum. You create exhaustion. Working less starts with subtraction. Ask yourself this question honestly: what am I doing right now that does not directly move my business forward? This might be things that feel productive, but don't actually create results. Over planning, over researching, over consuming content, tweaking things endlessly. Those activities can feel safe, but they don't always create growth. Growth comes from actions that create connection, visibility, or trust, not from perfecting behind the scenes. Another truth that matters here is that time spent does not equal impact. You can spend hours on something that doesn't move the needle, and you can spend 20 focused minutes on something that creates real progress. Working less means becoming more intentional with how you use your energy. Energy is the real currency, not time. If your energy is low, your effectiveness drops. So protecting energy is not optional. It is strategic. This is why boundaries matter so much. Boundaries are not about doing less work. They are about doing work that matters without burning yourself out. That might mean shorter work blocks. That might mean fewer days per week. That might mean one main focus instead of 5. Working less also means releasing the idea that you need to be available all the time. Constant availability is not the same as consistency. You do not need to respond instantly to be reliable. You need to show up predictably. That distinction alone can save you hours of mental and emotional energy. Another key piece here is focus. When you are trying to grow multiple things at once, everything moves slower. Focus creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. If you're in a season where time is limited, choose one primary growth lever, one platform, one offer, one message. You can build a lot from one focused effort. You do not need to do everything to make progress. Another reason moms feel like they need to work more is because they are constantly restarting. They start and stop. They switch directions. They abandon strategies before they have time to work. This creates the illusion that more effort is needed. But often what is actually needed is patience and repetition. Working less means staying with something long enough to see results instead of constantly reinventing. Consistency over time beats intensity every time, especially in a season where your capacity is limited. Another important shift is moving from reactive work to proactive work. Reactive work is responding all day, messages, notifications, requests. Proactive work is choosing ahead of time what matters, planning 1 or 2 focused tasks and protecting time for them, even if that time is short. 10 minutes of proactive work is more valuable than an hour of reactive work. Working less also means letting go of perfection. Perfection slows everything down. It keeps you stuck in editing mode. It creates hesitation. It delays action. Progress does not require perfection. It requires movement. Imperfect action builds skill and confidence. Waiting to feel ready wastes time and energy. Another thing that allows you to work less is using support and systems where possible. This does not mean complicated automation or expensive tools. It means asking yourself where you are doing things manually out of habit, where you are recreating the wheel, where you are making things harder than they need to be. Even small systems save energy. And saved energy compounds. One of the biggest mindset shifts that helps moms work less and grow more is this. Your business does not need your constant presence to grow. It needs your clear intention. It needs consistency, not intensity. It needs sustainability. Growth that requires burnout is not success. It is a warning sign. If your business only moves forward when you push harder, something needs to change. Working less and still growing requires trusting that slower does not mean stagnant. It means stable. And stability creates longevity. Here is something I want you to hear clearly. You are allowed to build a business that fits around your life, not one that requires you to sacrifice your health, your peace, or your presence. Working less is not about doing nothing. It is about doing what matters and letting go of the rest. If you feel like you are working all the time, but not seeing growth, ask yourself this. Where is my energy being diluted? What would happen if I simplified? What would change if I focused on fewer things more consistently? Growth does not come from exhaustion. It comes from clarity, focus, and sustainability. You are not behind because you are tired. You are tired because you have been carrying too much. Working less is not the problem. It is often the solution. If you want support learning how to simplify your work, protect your energy, and build in a way that actually fits your life, you'll find that inside the Balanced Mom Boss Hub. And if you love this episode, send it to a mama who needs to hear this. Talk soon, mama.